Ferrari and Frederic Vasseur have been involved in quite some drama recently, and it seems like the team tried to explore their options outside of the Frenchman services. There are reports from renowned media outlets that the Maranello-based squad has reached out to Christian Horner in order to convince him to take charge of the team amid the drama that's unfolding within their own ranks. But is Horner the right choice to replace Vasseur? And more importantly, what does this tell us about Red Bull in general? Red Bull and Christian Horner had the smoothest path in the past couple of years amid internal team drama, and the name of the Brit was constantly linked to a potential departure from the squad. Obviously, he has been there since day one, and to imagine Red Bull without him is very difficult. But the fact that other senior figures left right in the middle of this power shift, such as Wheatley and Newey, was a clear indicator that the team is ready for changes. And when there is smoke, there is fire. Ferrari knew that the quality of Horner is something that shouldn't be undermined, regardless of whatever is happening on a personal level within the team, which is why they've approached him for the team principal role. According to the German media outlet Bild, there's no doubt that Vasseur has demonstrated some questionable leadership in the past couple of years, and maybe the team's leadership, led by John Elkann, is considering a bold move if they want to compete at the front from 2026 onwards. This is not the first time that Ferrari approached Horner. A couple of years back, John Elkann made a bid that turned out to be unsuccessful, and now we're left with just pure imagination as to what could have been if Horner decided to change colors. After all, Horner said it himself. Every great figure in this sport is seeking a new challenge, and he may be tempted to change environments and prove his worth in another team. But even though both of Ferrari's attempts were unsuccessful in landing Horner in their ranks, we need to be talking about a much more important thing here: the culture in both teams. It's evident that the Maranello-based squad is facing a crisis, and despite reaching P2 in Monaco with Leclerc and P5 with Hamilton, they are far from satisfied. The projections before the season began were putting them on par with McLaren to fight for the championship in both categories, because on paper, they have the most successful duo of drivers. But when Ferrari started losing battles against Verstappen, and even both Mercedes cars on a few occasions, the red alarm was triggered. Vasseur's leadership has been brought into question, and this is the first indicator as to why the team would even consider a replacement for the Frenchman. In his first couple of years, the belief was that Vasseur was a massive upgrade compared to Binotto, and maybe that is true. However, for a team of Ferrari's caliber, anything below a championship fight is considered a defeat. The problems don't end here. Ferrari has to deal with a disgruntled Hamilton, a man who was supposed to bring glory back to the team and win the 8th championship of his career with the Scuderia. But from what we've seen so far, it seems like the communication between him and race engineer Riccardo Adami needs to be worked on massively. And maybe Vasseur doesn't have the courage nor the knowledge to make these big changes in his ranks. Obviously, the problem is behind the pit wall, and whatever feedback the drivers are providing for the car, the engineers back in Maranello are having trouble translating it into performance-boosting upgrades. This development of events is not just a revealing factor for Ferrari. We can learn a lot about Red Bull as well. The Austrian team has been in shambles ever since the internal investigation against Horner took the world by storm at the beginning of 2024. Even though they claim everything is under control, it most certainly doesn't look like it, based on the statements that Jos Verstappen and Helmut Marko have made in public. The negative factor for Horner is that they're currently a one-man team, and Verstappen's camp has turned against Christian and his leadership. So if a change were to happen, make no mistake that it would be motivated by forces who currently believe they are above the team. Something Horner has made clear he will never accept as a team philosophy. But at the end of the day, this is more about Ferrari than it is about Red Bull. They are the team that approached Horner, and they are the team that is ready to make a change in their internal circles and squad leadership. The dissatisfaction of John Elkann is likely growing by the day, and the final test will probably come in 2026. That is the year when the regulations will reset. Even Toto Wolff believes that the team we should be watching more closely from Barcelona onward is definitely Ferrari. And when addressing the front-wing flexing saga, the Austrian has gone on to, I think what we've seen is that Ferrari was probably the most conservative when it came to flexi-wings. Whether that will shift the pecking order is unclear. It's something we need to keep an eye on. Another interesting angle comes from Vasseur himself, who emphasized that Ferrari has been working on their upgrades for quite some time. Instead of unveiling a major package at Imola, as many expected, they've broken the upgrades down into smaller pieces, introducing some in Italy and Monaco. Now, with Barcelona just around the corner, Vasseur has made it clear the new front wing regulations are what the team has truly been waiting for. He said, "I think Barcelona is on the calendar of everybody in the paddock with the new regulation for the front wing. At least we have been working on it for ages now, and this could be a game changer for everybody. We don't know yet how it will impact every single team. We'll stay focused on this at Barcelona and hopefully have a better understanding of the new front wing's behavior." Interestingly, there's also speculation in the media that Ferrari may have approached Christian Horner and potentially other senior figures as the team looks to strengthen its leadership and technical direction. After all, you don't bring in a seven-time world champion just to race in the midfield. The pressure to deliver a championship-caliber car is immense. All signs now point to the Barcelona Grand Prix as a critical moment, not just for Ferrari's 2025 campaign, but also for Vasseur's future. If the upgrades don't yield results, we could see major shakeups behind closed doors. Fan impatience is growing, and if the drivers remain dissatisfied with performance, a leadership change might not just be likely, it could be necessary. So what do you think about Ferrari's rumored approach to Horner? And more importantly, would it be a smart move for the Brit to consider a future outside of Red Bull? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to click on the video that's appearing on your screen right now.